Good afternoon. Hopefully, each of you have had an amazing week thus far. This is our week 6 of Zoom, and oh my, where has time gone? I can't believe that next week is our last week of our class, and honestly, I'm kind of upset and in my feelings about it. That the class is ending. I've enjoyed it so much. You all have done an amazing job, a phenomenal job building your capacity around PLCs. And I look forward to hear some good things to come from you as school leaders in the near future. Well, let's jump right in, you guys. The university sent out a email regarding the online course evaluation. Please take the time to a few minutes to give. Go and check your email to look at the survey and complete the survey. The survey gives my boss an idea on how good a job I'm doing as I teach the course as an instructor. Hopefully, anyway, you decide and you feel that way. But please complete the survey because it does determine which courses I teach in the future, as well as the number of courses that they require me and ask me to teach based on my rating. So if you can this week, please complete the survey by February the 27th. I'll greatly appreciate it. You have until Monday to make up any late assignments that you missed. So please make sure you are here to that deadline. With us being one week left in the course, you guys, and me having to do a quick turnaround on the final grades, it's very important that you have all your missing assignments in by Monday, which is the 24th. If you see an issue or problem with that, just email me. But you guys, that deadline is kind of a stickler for that, being that we have a quick turnaround. Excuse me. So now let's reflect. Let's dive in and reflect. The planning POC assignment that we had last week was a major success. I was very pleased with the final products. I thought the dysfunctional assignment was my favorite because you guys was very transparent and you was very honest. Um, as you read your school with those dysfunctions, but I must say I thoroughly enjoy reading and reading this post in this form about your PLC agendas and also providing feedback to most of you, because most of you, I gave you feedback as if I was coaching that actual meeting, which is what I do on a daily basis with my schools. Um, One of my signature goals this year was to be able to make sure that you can plan a good PLC as well as you are able to coach a PLC. And even though the coaching part came naturally for you, it was intentional because that's why I required you to give feedback. You guys did an amazing job coaching your classmates. The feedback that you provided was very high quality. It was reflective and it was thought provoking. Some of you really push your classmates through your questioning, through those reflective questionings, onto really, did they consider this? What did you think about this? And you asking those clarifying questions too, to really push their thoughts about strengthening their PLCs. And that's what a true PLC is all about. That collaborative conversations going on all the time, that reflective dialogue happening all the time. And all of that came to life in this assignment. This is what great leaders do, you guys. We strategically ask questions that cause teachers and other leaders to reflect on their practices. Just really reflect. When we reflect, we actually grow. Some powerful learning moments happened on last week. I was very impressed seeing some of the questions you guys was asking, some of the feedback you guys were were given, and also just really pushing. Have you thought about this? And have you thought about that? Can you explain this more? You guys, that was so powerful. You truly make me more and more proud week after week with your learning, everything that you are actually learning. Um, so let's just talk about some reflections, you guys, as I read, and I call it batch feedback, which is a set of feedback that I give as a whole based on everything that I read with trends. One piece of a PLC to always remember when you are planning a PLC, that it's important to model what you expect. So when you plan the PLC, and if you're using the 5-step structure or you using another PLC structure, that's not a problem. The most important thing you need to take away is that you need to always model what you're going to require teachers to do. You need to make sure that you are modeling it first. You are modeling exactly what you want them to do. So then when it's their turn, you're setting them up for success, because they have seen a true and a strong model or an exemplar. Now they can go and they can replicate that same process with their data, with their content area, with their curriculum, whatever they have that's personal and meaningful for them. They can actually use your process and use your model to really go and do the same thing as they practice. And that's what's truly happens in a POC and comes to life in a POC and starts those reflective conversations and that collaborative talk with that. Um, after after a POC, you guys, this is another piece that I saw. After a POC happens, teachers should be able to go straight from their POC back to their classroom and try something, or implement whatever you're talking about or whatever you're discussing. Teachers should be able to go right back to their classroom and try it and try that. That's why the development piece of a POC is so important, where we practice and we role play and we annotate and we do those things, so I can take that and go back to my classroom and try it and see, does it have an impact on teaching and learning and definitely student outcomes in my classroom. As far as the tips for leaders assignment, I'll start grading those on tonight. So you should be getting your grades by the weekend. Everyone great should have that assignment graded. I'm looking forward to great reflections. You guys are doing again, amazing job with your assignments. You're not just putting something together, you're really putting thought into your assignments, and I definitely appreciate that. So let's talk about and dive into our readings for the week. Our readings focus on learning through collaborative approaches. You guys really did talking about equity and diversity. And those collaborative approaches was in different forms. It talked about mentorship. It talks about coaching. It talks about looking at student work, but having those collaborative conversations and that dialogue around those things. So I want to go in depth about a couple. The mentoring, a mentor teacher and mentorship, and how that enhances a learning community. Mentoring is so important on the campus. And a lot of times when we think about mentoring, you guys, we always look at it from a standpoint of supporting teachers around instruction and classroom management. My new teachers who come on our campus or come aboard, they need to get a buddy up with a strong teacher and get help around instruction and classroom management. And that's pretty much where we stay in that avenue. And stay in that domain. But you guys, it's also very important to be very intentional about supporting our new teachers around the culture of our schools, because culture is so important. And a lot of new people don't that come into our campuses and come to our schools, they have no idea about the culture of our schools. So we support them on helping them so they can survive in the classroom, but also we need to make sure that we're intentional about helping them learn the culture of our school. This is when they truly feel that they are a part and they belong. So that's why it's so important. Through mentoring, you guys, you can keep that sense of community alive. So when teachers leave or get promoted, or when teachers move out of the district or move out of the school, or when new people come, that piece of community is there if we have a strong mentoring, if we are truly mentoring teachers around our culture as well as our classroom management and instructional practices, but really mentoring them about the culture of our school. So please put that in your tool bank, you guys, that we got to begin to intentionally support teachers around learning the culture of our school, and so that that community always stays there, that learning community is always there. This chapter also talks about and goes and talk about the roles and the responsibilities of a mentor teacher. So we got some good strategies listed for implementing a mentoring program if your school does not have a formal program or a protocol, how they grow and meet and groom and nurture new teachers. The book gives a lot of strategies, or gives some strategies on implement a program for mentoring. Then the book also talks about coaching, you guys. And again, I'm kind of excited because we've already talked about some of these things. Even in all of your assignments, you're talking about how the feedback and in the pure observations and going and watch your peers and giving feedback to them. All that is a part of coaching, you guys. And because that's important because coaching increases reflection and conversation around teaching and learning. So if I'm coaching you, we're going to always have reflective conversations about what I just saw or what just took place, which leads improving student outcomes. So it's very important that we understand that coaching is very, very important. You guys, again, this chapter focuses strictly on collaborative approaches, things that cause us to collaborate, and that's mentoring, that's coaching, that's looking at student work, which now I'll talk about, which focuses on the results of the instruction and provides a vehicle, you guys, for conversations to take place around teaching and learning. That's when that student work analysis activity we did about a couple weeks ago, you guys, that's so important because that's our conversation stem when we become to POCs. Let's begin to talk about how did our kids do? Who fell in the mediums? Who fell in the highs? Who fell in the lows? What trends did we see in the data? Well, what did I do as a teacher to cause these results to happen? The good, the bad, the ugly. What did I do to cause these results to actually happen? So it begins to get us a vehicle to start our conversations around teaching and learning. So very, very important that we understand that it's just a way to collaborate. And what better way, you guys, to begin a conversation in a collaborative approach than talking about student work. Looking at student work which is where the rubber meets the road, as they say. You guys, this is the glue, or this is the essential piece to improving school performance. It's very, very important that we are looking at student work and having conversations about student work all the time. And so then the book goes and talks about collaborating through family and school communications, how well we are doing that, where we are bringing families and involving families in our communication process. And so again, this chapter focuses strictly on about how can we build and strengthen collaborative approaches and be intentional about those collaborative approaches happening in our school that involves us as a family and builds that POC framework and model as a learning community. So please, please, please read it. It got some good learning in there. This week, you are for your assignment. It's all about, you guys, diversity, from the appearance of your school to community engagement from those outside resources that are coming into your school. Just how does that look as far as diversified? This should be a very interesting assignment, you guys, as well as an interesting read for me, because this is normally where I see a lot of our schools miss the mark when it talks about intentionally planning and being intentional about diversity. And I will say I've seen them more so miss the mark in elementary schools, because a lot of times we don't have all the clubs and all the clubs times and all the clubs as middle and high schools have that can bring that diversity in. We're kind of structured on a set schedule and all those things. And so I'm interested to see how our elementary schools that you guys are part of are really, really handling this diversity piece. You guys, if you need me, don't hesitate to call or question. You got any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. It's very important. Again, we got 1 week left. Let's finish strong. Again, this week you just got the diversity assignment. Next week you got the plan, the POC plan. You guys remember in week 3, I think you did a survey up on your school, on the staff, and they told you some things about what they felt was strong, what they felt was weak, and all those kind of things. You can actually use that data to start I'm gonna call it a long range plan. Remember, the assignment say you can't just do a quick fix where it's one POC and you fix all the problems. How would you plan that out? How would you plan that out for a continuum of learning where you're doing something for 18 weeks or you're doing something for a whole school year worked around a goal? But if you want to just continue working on what you did with your PLC model, what you did with just planning the one PLC, and you want to begin to chunk that out, whatever you feel, you guys, I'm not really looking for a particular type of plan. So it's no set plan. You can be as creative as you want to with this plan. The most important thing I'm looking at, did you follow those direct instructions on the instruction, the direction sheet, as well as the rubric. So long as I can find those rubric indicators in those in the criteria that's on the direction sheet, you guys, you should score pretty well on this assignment. So again, don't be puzzling your brain like, oh, is it a certain format? Is it a certain protocol? however you create it is fine. But again, you want to make sure that you read those directions and read them carefully so that you are addressing each and every component of that. That's pretty much all I have for week 6, you guys. I will come back for week 7. I think on the agenda it said that this wasn't, but it'll be a lie. It'll be a pre-recorded Zoom as well, just to give an update on the assignments and what I'm seeing and all those kind of things. Again, main thing, please read your chapter, and also please complete the course evaluation survey that they sent to your email. Letting them know how well the class is going for you. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you in advance. And I'll leave you with our quote for the class, you guys. Excuses are tools of the incompetent. They are used to build monuments of nothingness. Those who specialize in their uses are seldom capable of doing anything else. Therefore, I will not make excuses when getting this degree. You guys, you can do this. You can finish it. Let's finish strong. Uh, until we talk or meet again, you guys, reach out to me if you need me. Um, Email me. Let me know what's going on, and let's finish the course strong. 1 week left to go. Have a good evening. Thank you.